Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Hi, welcome. I'm Chris, right? And this is the Daily Reflections with Chris. And in this particular YouTube channel, for those of you, if you're new or maybe haven't been here in a while, we're still talking about recovery. We're talking about recovery, and I'm sharing a little bit of my experience, strength, and hope as that pertains to my recovery from alcoholism. And as a guide or as a topic, I grab something out of here that calls the Daily Reflections, or I read something out of here, right? And every day there's a new entry. So yesterday was April 15, it's this one. Today's April 16, it's right here. And this is just a good little tool if you're early in recovery, or maybe you want to take your recovery to the next level, right? Maybe you've been here for a while, but you're feeling kind of stuck. You're feeling like, what else, right? Like you want more. And sometimes in recovery, they say, oh, I'm recovering from wanting more, or I have the addiction of more. And more is not, it's not a bad thing, okay? So if you want more, you've been in recovery, you want more, that's okay. That means you've outgrown probably the phase that you're in or the level that you're on, and it's time to take it to the next level. And so many times I see people say that in around in the circles, like, I want more, I'm bored, or it's not what I thought it was. But if you want to go back out at that time, if you think that drinking is going to solve this problem of being bored, if you think that drinking is going to bring you more, if you think that drinking is going to take you to where you need to be, it will, because you're not going to be bored anymore when you start drinking. You're going to have so much freaking drama that you're not going to know what to do with it, right? I don't know if that's what you want, but you'll have more drama, that's for sure. Drinking will bring you more problems, right? So if you want to drink to get more, you'll probably have more problems. And if you think that drinking is going to get to where you need to be, it will, but it'll take you to your bottom. Drinking will take you to your bottom faster than you can think. You might think, oh, I only drink one, so I'm okay. And then the next day you're going to drink another one. No, but you're already mentally going there, because if you're anything like I was, you're already obsessing about your next drunk. You're already obsessing about your next drink. You're already obsessing about your next high. Okay. But if that's not what you want, right? If you want more in the healthy sense, if you want different in a positive way, then just hang on, man. Try something like this. Try a different book. Try doing try writing your own book. Try doing your own thing. But drinking is not the answer, and that's why I'm here. Just kind of encourage you to stay sober just another 24 hours. Just give it one more day, see what happens. Just give it one more day, see what happens. Okay. So for today, we're going to talk about anger. Besides anger, there's many, but this one in particular, they talk about a lot. It's like a dubious luxury, right? There's a lot of dubious luxuries that people in recovery can't afford to have. But let's talk about this one right now, okay? It says, if we were to live, we had to be free of anger. The grouch and the brainstorm were not for us. They may be the dubious luxury of normal men, but for alcoholics, these things are poison. And that's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 66. Dubious luxury. How often have I remembered those words? It's not just anger that's best left to non-alcoholics. I built a list including justifiable resentment, self-pity, judgmentalism, self-righteousness, false pride, and false humility. I'm always surprised to read the actual quote. So well have the principles of the program been drummed into me that I keep thinking all of these defects are listed too. Thank God I can't afford them, or I surely would indulge in them. So it says here, I'm gonna like try to put the top and the bottom, this and this together, because they kind of mix, right? So for us, like it's already been said here, it's if I want to live, if I want that more, if I want the different, if I want the next level, I have to be free of anger, right? So it says there. But it also says, if I want that I have to be free of justified resentment. Oh, I have a reason to be mad. I should be mad. If anybody's going to be mad here, it's me. That's justified resentment, right? Self-pity. Man, I'm always sick. I'm always the last one picked. Nobody loves me. Nobody understands me. Nobody cares. Judgmentalism. Damn, Chris. Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? Are you that crazy? You can't get it right. What the hell is wrong with you? That is dumb. You're dumb. Judgmentalism. Self-righteousness. This is a big one for me. Expecting others to give you something you haven't earned. Like a pat on the back. Or wanting a pat back all the time. Or look at me. And, you know, that one I can't hardly describe because I do it so much. It's such a part of me that I can hardly even take it out of me to describe it. But I always do feel like I deserve more than I've earned. And I would say that's probably a good example of self-righteousness. False pride and false humility. Taking one for the team so that you could get kudos, so that girl could look at you, so you could get the promotion. That's not true humility. True humility is when you really don't expect anything. You really just genuinely want to be a good person. You just want to do it because it's born out of you. It's born out of, of wanting to be a good person. It's not born out of what are you going to get out of it. It's not born out of what are they going to do for you. It's not born out of even that you'll probably get paid more because, and don't get me wrong here, I know humble people that get paid a lot, right? But I really believe that it starts somewhere. And it starts like when you're not getting paid a lot. And then it's like the measure of humor. Are you still humble if you get paid a little bit more? Are you still humble if you get paid a little bit more? Are you still reaching out for others? Are you still thinking about others? Are you still generally caring about others? Or are you doing it fakely? Are you just faking that you care? So people could, give you more praise or money or whatever. So all of that stuff, I and you, if you're in recovery or as a human being that's just trying to improve their lives, I have to be free of that. You have to be free of that, right? Is it easy? No, heck no. So one of the steps that scares more people away is the 4-step. And today is April, so we're talking about a lot about the 4-step, right? And all feelings are valid, right? I'm gonna say this, but all feelings are valid, but I'm just gonna say it's not that hard. It's not that hard, folks. Just write stuff down. Do that force list. Start with 1. Put all your resentments. Don't worry about the fear, the sex inventory right now, or the old belief systems. Don't worry about that right now. Just worry about one thing at a time, and that's the first column, and your resentments. Who are you mad at? Right? I think I have a visual in this book. Hold on. I have my big book here with me because I don't know. Sometimes I just get the big book and I start reading it. Not necessarily because I read it a lot when I don't know how I'm feeling. If maybe I'm having a conversation or I had a conversation that I don't really know how I feel about it yet. And as much as I want to talk about it and work it out and be, practice good communication skills, I don't always have them, because I do start to feel the anger or the resentment or the fear or the old belief systems creeping up inside of me. Not inside of me. Sounds wrong. Sorry. Creeping up in my mind. Telling me, oh, I am in the fourth step. I forgot. I had already turned to the pages, but I'm looking for it. Anyway, man, I thought it was right here. Okay, here we go. It's the very next page. Sorry, folks. So, I should draw it on here at some point, just to kind of for the visual, but I'm not, I don't have it done right now. So this first column that I talk about is the resentment column, right? So it's this part right here. Who am I mad at? And right here it has some examples in this book. This is the big book. And so here it has some examples. Mr. Brown, Mrs. Jones. Too close. Too close for comfort, that one. My employer, my wife, right? So, what's too different? Anyway, that's a story for another topic, for sure. I will definitely have to share this with you at some point soon. I'm sharing it with you right now. Okay, so we start here. First column is resentments. This is the fourth step here, okay? The second column is the cause. Why are you mad at this person? Right? So right here, Mrs. Brown, the cause is, Mr. Brown, sorry. The cause is his attention to my wife told my wife of my mistress. Brown may get my job at the office. Wow. So whoever wrote this, right, is mad at Mr. Brown because he pays attention to way too much attention to his wife. He talks to his wife and told them of the mistress, and he's getting the job that this guy wants. So he has a lot to be resentful at, right? Maybe you have some of the similar resentments. I do. Why? Because I'm jealous. I can't be jealous. I haven't been that jealous as much lately, but I haven't really liked it. I just haven't been that jealous lately. So what does that affect? Right, now we're in the third column. So first we do all of the first column, then we do all of the second column, then we go and do all of the third column. And we just go down the list, across the list, sorry. So in the third column, I'm gonna write, well, what does that affect? Well, right up here. See, this book gives you the answer and it shows you how to do it. So right up here, it gives you the questions to this. It tells you, well, what was your injury? Was it our self-esteem, our security, our ambitions, our personal or sex relations, which have been interfered with? It has the questions. So right here, the attention to his wife, well, it affected his sex relations and his self-esteem, which is fear. Right? So the fact that he told Mrs. Brown about his mistress, it affected his sex relations and his self-esteem. So Brown might get my job at the office. What does that affect? His security and his self-esteem. So he's really affected. He's got some stuff going on that and it's all Mr. Brown's, up until this point, is Mr. Brown's responsibility. It's Mr. Brown's fault that in his mind, he's probably not, if he's anything like me, he's not going to say this all out, right? In his mind, he's feeling very hurt because Mr. Brown, he's injured, right? They say injured in the book because Mr. Brown is doing all these things, right? Well, the one that's not on here, right, is the fourth column. I don't know, maybe they didn't have any room, maybe they didn't think to put it on here, maybe they didn't think that was like a good example, but folks, that is probably a prime example. The fourth column. And that's where we put our part in it. What was our part in it? Okay, let me just put an example. I'm gonna put an example. Some truth might came out, but these are all examples, right? And first column, Mr. Brown. Second column, his attention to my wife, right? That's the cause. That's why he's mad at him. And what did that affect? It affected my sex relations and my self-esteem. Well, this fourth column, it's imaginary here. That is probably one of the most important columns. It's the fourth column. It says, what was my part? Well, he gave my wife more attention. So I gave Mr. Brown's wife more attention. Or I started looking at other girls. Or I started hanging out with so-and-so. That's what I did. I took revenge. That's what I did. He told my wife, my mistress. Well, guess what? His wife is my mistress. Is he going to go and tell Mr. Brown that? No, not if he doesn't know. But he might already know. But if he doesn't know. Anyway, that's a different step. And the further we get down in this book, well, you understand why we do what we do, right? Or how we do what we do. And so he told my wife of his mistress, and I told his wife of his mistress, and I told his wife, blah, 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 blah. And I told his wife this. And I went to the work, and I told the work everything about it. I served everybody all Mr. Brown's tea, right? That's my part in it. That's what I did, right? Besides the obvious is having a mistress. I did that too, right? If I'm working on the fourth part, on the fourth column, and I'm saying, what is my part in it? Well, my part in it is that I had a mistress. I cheated on my wife, right? Right here where it says, Mr. Brown may get the job, and I'm giving you examples. Hold on one second. Get over here. What did I say? All right, sorry about that. I had to get my doggies away from the cat. Okay, so we're right here. So those are some examples of what my part in it, right? And that completes a 4-step. So we do all 4 columns, and that is the 4th step, right? So why? That's part of the solution, right? What is the rest of the solution to having this, what they call here, anger, self-pity, judgmentalism, self-righteousness, false pride, false humility, right? False humility. Man, I gave that guy a job. How dare he tell my wife about my mistress, right? So there's a lot more going on here, and I think that the further you, it's important that when they told me a long time ago, if you're doing the 4th step, stay close to your tribe, stay close to meetings, make sure you're praying and meditating. Why? Because it's such a, this step seems to go so deep that you could get to scary places, and you don't want to be in those scary places by yourself, because you're not by yourself. You're not alone anymore. You have a tribe. If you have a home group, you have them. If you have just even if you don't say much, just just hang out with other people and be good to yourself during this time, because it does get deep. But folks, the deeper it gets, the more healing that comes about it, right? Some healing that from all those old hurt wounds, man. Yeah, maybe you're not really mad at Mr. Brown because he told your wife about the mistress. Maybe you're mad about having the mistress, and that's okay. A lot of us who come to these programs or who are in recovery, not everybody, but a lot of us tend to do those things. I mean, we were drunk most of our lives. People do things that they would not normally do sober, but when they're drunk, they do them. That alcoholism, it messes with our mind. It tells us things are right when they're wrong. It starts justifying a bunch of stuff that we do that's not okay. So give yourself a break. That's why they have this program. That's why this program is here, for people like us to recover from all that stuff, right? First, learning how to put the alcohol down, but then about getting healed, so we're not so easily eager to go get some more beer, so we can live our lives, good lives too. So I want to read just a little bit more. I know it's kind of getting long, but I want to read a little bit on that same topic. It's the exact same topic. Just 1 second. Sorry, that might work. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so I want to read a little bit. That's part of the solution, right? Or to me, probably some part of the motivation, right? It's like, okay, I have this list. What do I do with it? Right now, I have a 4-step list, and parts of these books really prepare you for the next step, right? They tell you about one step, and then they prepare you for the next step. So it's a good little piece I have highlighted here in the big book. It says, we turn back to the list, right? This list that we've been talking about. For it held the key to the future. We were prepared to look at it from an entirely different angle. We began to see that the world and its people really dominated us. In that state, the wrongdoing of others, fancied or real, had power to actually kill. How could we escape? We saw that these resentments must be mastered, but how? We could not wish them away any more than alcohol. Yeah. Without these steps, my experience, right, has been that without these steps, without prayer, without meditation, without continuous contact with newcomers and old timers and those, people in the rooms. Sometimes you've heard me say I have a good friend that we talk about a lot of this stuff, and she's been around for a while. She really helps me. Do I always like what she says? No, but she really helps me. Stuff like that is stuff I need, because I can't just, some people do, I couldn't do it. I couldn't just be in my couch with a hangover and be like, man, I'm never gonna do this again. Oh, this is horrible. And never do it again. For some reason, as soon as that's gone, as soon as I take some medicine or whatever and I feel better, I'm off to the bar again. I'm day drinking again. I'm drinking at work. I'm getting high at work. And then I wake up the next day with another hangover and say, I'm never gonna do this again, man. And those moments, because that is part of my true story. In those moments, I remember thinking, I don't remember ever thinking I had a problem. Even though I kept saying, I'm like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I didn't think I had a problem. So I would do it again the next day. it took me a while for me to realize that what I was going through was, forget that it was normal, but it was not okay. It was not okay for my life. It was not okay for my body. It was not okay for my head. It was not okay for my family. I mean, everything was being affected by my drinking, and I had zero clues. I had zero clues, right? Until I came into recovery, and, and they showed me this book, and they taught me more about alcoholism and about living a spiritual life, and how taking action to be responsible for my own life, for my own sobriety, for my own rehabilitation of all the stuff that I've been, wounded from. I had to start taking responsibility for myself. And then and only then, when I became willing, once I made the decision on the third step, then everything else started to feel easy. It wasn't, everything started to be easy. Didn't always feel easy, right? But it started to get easier. Like I said, I felt like the decision that I made to do whatever it took for my sobriety started like shifting something inside me, and be like, whoa, okay. They're like, do this 4-step, and I was like, okay. And I've done several recovery, these 12 steps. It's not something that for me will ever graduate, right? It's a consistent opportunity to look inside myself and see what's really going on, because I could be fine lots of days in a row, not really have to look at anything, just kind of living life, not really messing anything up, not really speaking out of anger or picking up resentments. But sometimes, people say things that I get confused about. Like, I don't really know how I feel about them. I want to be mad, but I don't feel mad. I'm hurt, and I don't think I should be. Right? Those are the stuff that the 4-step helped me get through. I'm mad at so and so. Why? Because this and this and this. And it affects my self-esteem, my personal relationships, my ambitions. It affects my ambition. Why? Because there's stuff that I want. There's stuff that I'm dreaming of, I'm hoping for. And certain news affects that. So then I put my part. What's my part in it? Sometimes I don't have a part. Sometimes getting upset is my part. Sometimes not wanting to talk about it is my part. Sometimes not being 100% honest is my part. Sometimes not asking questions is my part. Right? Maybe that had nothing to do with me, but it's affecting me now. Why? Because I still come with stuff. Maybe I've been here before. Maybe it took me to a place that I haven't been in a while. Maybe I thought about the last time this happened to me. Put that in my 4-step. Now I have 2 people on my 4-step. I'm mad at this person. Why? Because she did this, and this is what affected, and this is what I did. What did I do, right? Because it's cool to look at their part, but it's even cooler to look at our part, my part, right? Well, I got upset, I got hurt, I got jealous, I didn't want to communicate. Oh, so I see here, yeah, you're a little bit jealous. Just going down the fourth column, you can already start to see my patterns. He gets jealous, he gets upset, and he shuts down, and he don't want to communicate. Because he doesn't know how he really feels. the second part that I read to you, and it says, in that state, the wrongdoing of others, right? That's the second column, the cause. Fancied or real, had the power to actually kill. Fancied or real, that is one that, so to me, three of the most important words in this 4-step. Fancied or real, it doesn't matter. See, when people are out there living their lives, they're not out there to hurt me, but they do. So that's kind of fancied, right? They didn't mean to hurt me, but they did. I mean, you're talking about like 20 years later, and we're talking about a situation that they want to come clear about, and it's hurting me. Right? That was not about me. That was about what happened at that time, but it's hurting me right now. That's fancied, right? Now, a conversation that says, Chris, I did this and I did it to you. That's real. That's a real hurt. They did it for real. But this book says that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's fancied or real. It can still kill me, because I can still pick up a resentment. I can start judging. I can start with my self-righteousness. I can start with my false pride and my false humility. I can start with all that, and then I'll be like, you know what? To hell with you. And then I go drinking. And that's why the 4-step is so powerful. Folks, it doesn't sound like a solution. I know, it sounds like a big problem. But it's not. It's a healing journey that's gonna have some really, really tight spots, really, really hard stuff. But we need to get through that. We need to get through that to get to the other side. Right? We need to get to, like, it's never gonna get better. It's weird. I don't know. That's not encouraging at all, right? We need to get to that point where it's never gonna get better. It's called a bottom. It's called a spiritual bottom. It's called an emotional bottom. It's called a mental bottom, right? Where it's just like, I don't know what else to do anymore. I can't take it. I need help. It's part of the process, but man, we can only go up from down. We can only go up. And the good thing about the 4-step is we have the 5th step. That we don't have to hold it anymore, that we don't have to carry it around, that we don't have to just, we don't have to continue to drag it around like old luggage. We get to set free of it. Why? Through the 5th step. That's where we talk to God, to ourselves, and another human being about this. We share this with somebody. We share this with God. I messed up. And God will be like, I got you. And then your sponsor will be like, me too, man. I used to be there. I know. It's hard. Probably even cry with you. To make the time and space to spend with you, to hear your stuff. So we could look at it, not so we could just be reminded of how horrible we've been, but so we could work through those things that continue to put us in those spots. And to grow and to learn and to walk towards our new life. Folks, if you're out there right now and you're like saying, what the heck is he talking about? I'm not doing that. It's too hard. I know it's too hard. I know it's too hard, but it can be done. It can be done. I know it can be done. I've done it a million times. People around me have done it too. It doesn't always feel good. And just being on this video with you guys right now, I know it's long, but man, it's already helping me to realize what I need to be doing, conversations I need to have, a 4-step that I need to write about, right? Because there's stuff going on in my life. I have no reason to be upset, but I am. I'm jealous. I'm starting to feel insecure. I'm starting to feel some fear and some self-esteem issues. I don't feel 100% about myself right now, right? Because something is going, and it had nothing to do with me. But what am I doing? Shutting down, not communicating, saying things I shouldn't be saying. Those things are like stuff I don't want to be doing anymore. That stuff gets me in trouble every single time. Saying things I shouldn't be saying. Shutting down. Oh my God. Those are like running away. Whew. Those are hot ones for me. Those are the ones I'm working on right now. Why? Because I want a career. If you want a career, you can't run away every single time you're not getting what you want. If you want a marriage, you can't run away every single time that the relationship you're in is not going your way. Right? If you want to build a house, you can't run away every single time you run out of materials or the price of materials goes up. Come on, people. There's a word here. Stay, work on it. It'll only benefit you. And if it doesn't work out here, then you'll be better for the next one. But it might work out this time. You might actually get married. You might actually get promoted. You might actually finish this house and start on the landscape. Folks, people like us don't stay when it hurts. This program, through the 4-step, is gonna, and then giving you the 5th step to get free of this, and 6 and 7, and all the rest. This is gonna make the stay worth it. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, it was not a good time. Yeah, but look at where you are now. Look at this house you built. Look at your beautiful wife. Look at your beautiful office. These are the things, if you want, you might have to work for. And I'm not talking about physical work, external work. You're gonna need some of that too, right? Sometimes a lot of it. But the work I'm talking about is the internal work. Working on the stuff that's going on here, that's messing you up. The stuff that's still hurting right here, that's messing you up. And then being able to speak that. And to act in a positive way. Getting free of that and being able to act like the person you've always wanted to be like. It's hard, but know that you're not alone. You have a community of friends. Maybe you don't have a program yet. Maybe alcohol is your problem. Maybe it's causing some issues in your life. Get to a meeting. There's thousands and thousands of them. There's probably one right now in your neighborhood, and you can watch this at any time, and that'll be true. You could be watching this at 6 in the morning, noon, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight. Sometimes there are some cities offer 24-hour groups. So look around, man. Don't try to do this by yourself. There's plenty of us out there. Maybe you're not an alcoholic and you don't want to do the 12 steps in Alcoholics Anonymous. Talk to your pastor, or maybe a life coach or a therapist, somebody that can help you process some of these thoughts that you have. Because some of us feel this way and we don't drink. We feel lost, we feel confused, we feel like shame, we feel guilty, we feel hurt, we feel anger, right? There's help for you. I encourage. I used to think there was no help for me. All my childhood life, even as a grown-up, even sometimes in the past as a grown-up in a program, I felt like there's no help for me. But folks, this program has proven me wrong every single time I do what is asked of me from this program. I am proved wrong. I am given a solution. I am giving a relief from all this pressure that I feel inside, right? So I'm grateful that I have it, and that's why I like sharing that with you, because I am passionate about it. I speak of these topics all the time, not all around the world, but all around Texas, and into different languages now. Why? Because I am passionate about the newcomer. I'm passionate about the person that's out there thinking that there's no hope or living without hope. There's a person out there wondering if things are ever going to get better. Folks, yes, there is an answer to all that. So I encourage you, please find your tribe. If you haven't found it, tune into channels like this. Find a channel. Man, I got hooked on another channel. It's called My Future Wifey. God, it's so good. It is so good. And I'm really enjoying it, because I didn't realize it before I started watching that video that I needed those kind of people in my life to feed me, to not to just take from them, but to have them in what I call in my social circle, because they're positive, they're brave, they're courageous, they go through the things that I go through, but they have a biblical view on it. So it's where I am spiritually. Like, I want to be that man that I've always wanted to be. So I need men like that in my life. I feel like that. I felt that when I heard them. I was like, these are the kind of guys I need in my life. So I felt it was recommended by a really good friend of mine, and I'm so grateful she did. So maybe, I don't know if this one will help. I don't know if My Future Wife will help. I don't know if RTK will help. Real Talk Kim, but tune into something. Get tuned in to your higher power. Get tuned in to your greatest dreams. Get tuned in to your best life. It was the best decision I ever made. It keeps changing over and over. It keeps going like this and it keeps going like that. But you know what? It is my best life. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful. First, I had to put the plug in the jug, and everything else started to fall into place. Folks, I want to wish you the best freaking rest of your day that you could possibly have. Man, if you're not going to change it all at once, just start with one little thing. Something so simple like not chewing gum in church, or taking your cart back to the cart rack instead of leaving it in the middle of the parking lot. Maybe it's something so simple as cleaning your car or picking up trash in your neighborhood. Start somewhere, but do something, one thing different every day, and you will change your life completely. That's how I did it. I encourage you to try that. If you haven't tried anything else I talked about in this video, just try that. It's really easy. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.